people started noticing that they were getting a lot of different charges from PayPal, PayPal accounts that were connected to their iTunes. So, for instance, one victim had 46 emails, all for $99.99 for some virtual good in a game on iTunes, which he never bought. He's in his 50s; he doesn't play games, and he also got the receipts from iTunes. So it's not really clear where the security breach occurred, but somebody had compromised his account on iTunes, and that was showing up on PayPal because his PayPal account was linked to iTunes. And that's the pattern that we've seen with some of the other people who've been public about it, either on Twitter or Facebook as well.
So Eric, is this just an iTunes PayPal issue, or is this an issue with other vendors? Because people use PayPal to buy other products online.
Right. Well, in these instances, there were no other charges. Somebody got hold of your PayPal account, they could charge it up for any vendor, right, as you say. But it was only iTunes. So there seems to be some sort of connection between the fact that the iTunes and PayPal accounts were linked. Now, both PayPal and Apple have told me since I posted that their accounts have not been compromised, and that the iTunes servers have not been hacked, and also that the PayPal servers have not been hacked. So if that's the case, then that leads to some sort of compromise where a user could have had his password compromised, and somebody got into his iTunes account, and therefore many iTunes accounts are linked to PayPal, and maybe that's what we're seeing. It's unclear.
So bottom
exactly.
line, Eric, what should users do to avoid getting scammed? What do you recommend?
Right. Well, we have so many accounts online today and linked to real bank accounts, real PayPal accounts, and especially in the mobile world with the iPhone and the iPad, where we're buying items, applications that are 99 cents, where we don't even notice until 3 days later or a week later that we even bought something. You'll get that email from iTunes, and it's usually 3 days late. So you really have to be aware of the billing relationship, and if there are things on your bill that just don't look right, you have to contact either Apple or PayPal or whoever, or your bank, and reverse those charges as quickly as possible and put a stop to it. The onus is really on the consumer, unfortunately.
And Eric, is there any way for authorities to track down who these scammers are by tracking where the purchases go or where they're being sent to?
Well, again, it depends on the extent of the crime, right? If somebody is taking a few $100s from any single account or a few $1,000s, many people won't even report it to the police. They just want their banks or PayPal to deal with it, just like any other kind of fraud. So it's really up to the banks or PayPal, if they see a pattern emerging, to start an investigation. And it's really only by giving the police access to to their servers or access to the accounts that were compromised that a trail can be created. The only way to really catch them is to really follow the money and try to figure out how do they benefit economically from these scams. And that's also another question,
Eric,
whether it's a nuisance scam or it's just or there really is a sort of a monetary motivation.